So when I was like 6 years old, my mother thought that I was really clumsy. And so she put me in ballet classes. And so there I was a cute little fat thing, looking like an apple in my little tutu, hands up, twirling around. But I was still running into things. And she was like, oh, turns out it's not that you were not graceful, it's that you couldn't see. Yeah, I needed glasses. From the time I was 6 years old, I have worn glasses. And glasses always cost a fortune, a pain in the neck. What you gonna do? That's just how it is, right? And then the nice people down at Firmoo were like, "Hey, girl, hey, listen, we got some glasses and they're cheap." And I was like, "Cheap, you say?" To me, cheap means poor quality. But what they should have said was, "Hey, these glasses are low cost, but you're gonna be able to see. You're not gonna be running into walls. You're not gonna have to wear a tutu." And I was like, "Tell me every single thing." And so they were like, "Okay, tell us your prescription and we'll send you the glasses." And I was like, "Right, but I don't even really know y'all like that. And what if I get these glasses and they poke my eyeballs out? Because I really, really enjoy my eyeballs and I would like to see them. I would like to keep them. Plus, they are my highly sensitive recording devices. And so, how am I going to get through the world?" And they were like, "Listen, don't panic. We have a website. You can find yourself some cute glasses, and then you could shop by the shape of your face, or you could upload a picture of your face, and then you could virtually try on the glasses." And I was like, "Wait, and it's cheap? Oh, well, yes, please." And so that's when I got these adorable prescription glasses. No glasses, I cannot see you right now. Glasses, no more running into walls. But wait, 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 wait. And these are cute, they're lightweight, and these are actually progressive because I know all this adorableness. You would not think I am a grandmother of four, but yes, friends, I have four grandchildren. I'm grandma old. And so I was like, I need the progressive, because I don't want to be like, I look down and I can't see. With these glasses, I look down, can still see. And then I look forward, I can also see, but you don't see that annoying bifocal line in my glasses. And I was like, wait, okay, now that I'm super cute and I'm out here in these true crime streets looking extra adorable in my thermal glasses, what about if it's too sunny? And they were like, girl, we got you. Summarizing. That's not exactly what they said, but that's the spirit of what they said. They said, girl, we got you. Sunglasses. Look, prescription sunglasses. Oh, hot grandma. These glasses right here, these are giving full hot grandma. I was like, oh, okay. And these glasses also adorable. Good quality. I'm actually shocked at the quality because cheap glasses, I expected them to be like, something I would get at the drugstore or whatever. I can see, I can be sexy, I can protect my eyes from the sun. And I was like, oh, but wait, sometimes I wear contact lenses. And when I wear contact lenses, I don't really need glasses, except for contacts don't really protect your eyes when you're staring at the screen all the time. So I got another pair of glasses that look exactly like my regular glasses. These I wear when I have my contact lenses in. These just protect me from the blue rays or the blockers. I don't know what it is that comes out of computer screens that harms your eyes, but these glasses protect you from it. And I'm like, the phone. I can be sexy and adorable in whichever glasses I choose. Oh, yes, I have an entire wardrobe of Firmoo glasses because I like to save money and my adorableness must be in full effect at all times. One time I ordered some glasses from them. These are those glasses. And I was like, okay, those are a little bit too big for my face. And they were like, oh, don't worry, girl, we got a money back guarantee. So I did not like these glasses. I had to dig them out just so we could talk about it today. Because I was like, these are not good for me. And they were like, just order what you like. We guarantee that you're gonna be happy. And so they sent me a little code and I ordered these and I was like, yes. So now I'm out here living my best Firmoo life. You can too. For on firmoo.com, FIRMOO.com. But look, just because you took your time to watch me tell my little story here, there's a promo code right there. Can you see it? Promo code VV, like victory, NT50 for 50% off. These glasses are already a really, really good deal. And now you're getting 50% off. You are welcome. Go on over there and visit our friends at Firmoo today. All right, y'all. I will talk to you soon. Back to the show. That commercial is entirely ridiculous. Good morning, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Oh my goodness, it is early on a Sunday morning. Please put some ones in the chat if you can hear me. I'm not at all sure that I can't hear myself. Oh, I did hear the Firmoo glasses ad. So I'm hopeful that my voice is going out over the airwaves. So look, it's early. I see ones. Thank you. It's early in the morning. Usually on a Sunday morning, I only do members only lives. I do members only lives. I do members only content on the weekends on days that I do not do public videos. But I was like, wait, there is a situation that jumped off this weekend that I did not comment on. And so instead of making my normal members only video, I need to talk to the people. Me and the people need to get together and have a conversation. Good morning, good morning, good morning. There are so many of you here. Y'all must be in other parts of the country because it is early. What time is it? 6:42 a.m. on the East Coast. I'm up. I'm having my little glass of cup of coffee. Look, I don't want to spill it because I'm not trying to spill a precious drop. 22 petite ounces in my curtain twitcher mug. Listen, we need, oh, in the UK. Okay. It's like noon or something in the UK. Thank you, Marcia Naka. Listen, y'all love this channel. I love y'all too. So much fun. Wait, I'm your Miss Demeanor is my neighbor in New York City. Okay, rise and shine. Like right now is when the rats have gone to bed and the homeless are still asleep. So you can have a really nice walk in New York City if you're willing to play like dodge questionable substances on the sidewalk. 1 p.m. in the Netherlands. Okay. Early afternoon. I'm not mad at that. New Mexico. Girl, how come you're not asleep? It's early. Okay, so look, we need to have a little conversation about favorite sociopath of yours and mine, Miss Lori Vallow Daybell. Now listen, I will be pausing for many Florida, the Alabama side. Okay, Alabama side. I see y'all. It's early and my caffeine has not been fully injected. So I might be a little slow this morning. I know it's shocking because normally I'm like fast. Although as my half calf kicks in, y'all know I only drink half calf, right? I never drink fully caffeinated coffee because that would be too much. I have the amount of energy I have on half calf. Imagine if I was drinking fully leaded coffee. It would not be good for you or me, or probably my heart. My cardiologist would be like, no, girl, no. But look, Lori Vallow is, in my opinion, I am not a doctor. I know it's shocking. I am your town gossip, honey. I am not a doctor. I believe that Miss Lori is having a little bit of a mentee bee. Do you know what a mentee bee is? She is having a little bit of a mental breakdown. But we don't want to be rude and be like, Heifers is crazy. That Heifer's crazy. We will just keep our pinkies out like we do because we are ladies. Um, and we will say, Miss Lori is having a bit of a mentee bee. And why do I think she's having a mentee bee? Here's a theory, child. This is the gospel according to Kathy. Wait, have you seen the Reddit post? I have seen that there was a Reddit post. I have not had time to read it. We might need to cover that a little later. Hang on. My throat is dry and scratchy. I'm starting to wake up. I'm not hot yet. As the day goes on, I get hotter. So this be the perfect time to do lives early in the morning. Okay, so look, we need to talk about Lori and her mentee bee. So in Lori is in her third trial down there in southern Idaho, Iowa, the Arizona region. So think about it this way. First trial, Lori thought she knew better than anybody. Oh, Miss Lori was out here doing the most. She was like, okay, lawyers, free lawyers, this is what I think you should do. You should do this and this and this. And they were like, right, we hear you crazy. And then they just did whatever they wanted to do, right? Including, but certainly not limited to, throwing Chad under the bus. And to Lori, her lawyers made her look stupid. Ma'am, ma'am. I don't know if you know, I got some news for you. It was not the lawyers. The lawyers were upset that Lori was upset that the lawyers said unkind and disparaging things about her Lord and Savior, Chad the Thumb Daybell. And I was just like, that should have been the first sign that she was not all there. Her ducks were not already in a row. But she sat there with her mouth stuck out like all angry toddler style. And I was like, okay, okay, okay. We see what you're doing. And no, half a no. But okay, we're gonna we're gonna let you take your life sentences for the unfortunate unaliving of your children and your fifth husband's first wife, which is the craziest sentence ever. But okay, whatever. So when she gets down to Southern Idaho, she was like, you know what? First of all, I'm going to represent myself. I've read some articles. I read a couple of, things on the internet. And so now I feel fully prepared to be a lawyer. Okay. That's like when we all go to University of Google and we think we're doctors and then immediately are like, I think this is a tumor. I think I have botulism and some other assorted dread diseases. But okay, girl. She has had many, many court proceedings, as we well know. See, also, she's a convicted, unfortunate unaliver. She's like, I feel like I could do this. And according to Lori, who lies every time she opens her mouth, but she does open her mouth and say things. According to Lori, down there in Southern Idaho, they keep the women on unalive row or segregated custody or whatever for years and years and years. If they waive their speedy trial rights. So Lori is like, I will not waive speedy trial. I want to go to trial as fast as possible because she wants to get back up to Northern Idaho, the Idaho district, so that she can be where the good people are, ma'am. You are in prison. I promise you, no matter where you go, if like attracts like, you're not going to be around good people. That's just what I think. Again, only my opinion. So she wants to go back up to Pocatello, where she is housed on Unalive Row, because number one, the view is good. The view from prison? Okay, okay, got you. Apparently, they have the view of the mountains up there in Pocatello, and good for her. You know what I would like the view of? Freedom, walking down the street, paying too much for Starbucks and other assorted sundries. Yeah, that's what I like the view of. But I'm crazy like that. I'm also not out here, unfortunately, unaliving people or having my own personal mentee be. So she says the people are better and the view is better up in up in Pocatello. Okay. Okay. So she did not waive her speedy trial rights. She decided to be her own attorney. And so the first trial that she had down in Southern Idaho was the state of Arizona versus Lori Vallow Daybell and the unfortunate unaliving of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow. And when she did her opening statements, now was it lawyer quality? No, of course not. Absolutely not. But she impressed me. The bar was very low. So I was like, okay, Miss Lori, okay. And she made good points. Were they nonsensical? Of course they were, because she's a crazy person. But I was like, okay, I get what you're going for here. She's trying to get up here and show herself to be a good lawyer. And from the bottom of my heart, I think Lori thought, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to explain to all the people what happened, and all the people are going to be like, oh, I see what you're saying. And they're going to be like, you can just go on and go home. Go on back over there to Northern Idaho. I think this is what she thought. And she did a good job of explaining her nonsense. And trust me when I tell you, nonsense it was. So she explained herself, and the jury was like, right. We hear what you're saying. Guilty. And so Heifer got convicted as a surprise to absolutely no one but her, right? Well, my throat is coming back online, y'all. It was giving me a 404 error when I woke up this morning. Anyway, so Lori gets convicted in the first trial. It's actually her second trial, but her first Southern Idaho trial. And she was like, okay, Now I'm going into this last trial for conspiracy to unfortunately unalive Brandon Boudreaux. Clearly, people don't believe me when I talk. Clearly, I have nothing to lose. Also, um, I believe she has deteriorated mentally over this time. I know it's hard to tell. It's real hard to tell, but I think her mental state is not as good as it might have been previously, which is really saying something. It was not that great to start with. So, here we are. So Lori's in court the other day, right? First, she has her opening statements on day one of trial. I mean, she's been trying to get rid of the judge ever since this trial began. And I was like, okay. And then she was sick. Oh, I'm sick. I sprained my baby pinky toe and I'm not sure I can go to trial. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Katya's here. Good morning. Good morning. Well, it's good afternoon, Katya. It's good to see you back. Wait, let me highlight her comment. Go over and say, hey, good morning to Katya over there at True Crime Addict 8. We did a live stream last night. It was so much fun. All things Adelson. Anyway, so Lori goes to trial. And Lori comes to trial this time. She has her opening statements, and 2 sentences in, the prosecutor is like, no, what I'm not going to do is tolerate all this madness. I know I'm going to convict this heifer. This is basically a slam dunk. P.S. If Lori had had a lawyer, maybe they wouldn't have been able to convict her, but she's not smart enough to realize all of that. And to that, I say, stay stupid, scumbag, because this is what criminals need to do. Stay stupid. Keep believing that you are your highest, best translated self so you can get to prison fast, and in a hurry. So Lori has her opening statements. Immediately, Trina K was like, objection, Your Honor, nonsense, Your Honor, heifer is ridiculous. I remember all the objections, but it was a lot of objections during Lori's opening statement. And Lori chose a very interesting tact. Instead of being like, oh, I should stop and think about this and do things a different way, she would get objected to mid-sentence, pause, hear that the objection was sustained, and keep right on down that same track under the theory of what they gonna do. What they gonna do? I'm already in jail. What are they going to do? So Lori was misbehaving, right? And she's like, this misbehaving thing is working out real good for me. Real good. So what happened the other day when the full depth and breadth of Lori's mental decline was on display, and it ended up with her being thrown out of court. Now, I'm about to play this video for you. Oh, yes, I'm up early. I have set up a video. I am good to go. Teresa T, yes, ma'am. Heifer's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. But look, let me, so they're in court. They're having a conversation. During Lori's opening statements, she said, I am a good and loving person. I love everybody, even this prosecutor who's wrongly trying to convict me. And even after she convicts me, like everybody knows she's going to, I will still love her because all I want to do is love. And so the prosecutor was like, yeah, hey, Judge, hey, listen, if she keeps bringing up um, if she keeps talking about her character, we can combat that with other character evidence. And the judge was like, right. And Lori was like, no, because 404B, they already said they're not going to bring in my bad character evidence. And the judge was like, hang on, heifer, in judicial language, He was like, let me set you straight. If you open the door to this information, the prosecutor can then start to talk about your character. And she was like, well, not without a hearing. You will stop this trial and you will have a hearing, right? Ma'am, your act right has clearly shaken loose. The timing belt is off again. They need to tighten up some of them screws and stuff. You better get it together, heifer. And so, again, he said that in judicial language. But look, I have the video for you. And I finally get to use my button. Somebody sent me this button in the mail. I don't even remember who, but I love this button. Hang on. That's what we about to do. We about to roll that beautiful bean footage. Hang on. Let me get East Idaho News up here so we can watch this clip of Miss Lori getting thrown out of court. Here we go.
That sidebar again discussed similar issues of if the defendant brings in evidence or testimony that she was a good person and no ill intent and those sorts of things, and specific acts of her being a good person, it could open the door to other things that she may not want the door open to. The state, the defendant, and advisory council were at the bench when we had that short 1 minute sidebar, but I don't know if anyone wants to supplement the record on that. Ms. Kay?
Just, Your Honor, that again, the state did raise any issue of character evidence under 404A and 405, that if the defendant opens the door and tries to advise that she is a good person, a peaceful person, a kind person, a loving person, any of those other types of things, that we believe that would allow us under 405 to then bring in specific acts, such as the murder of her children, her husband, and her current husband's wife.
All right.
Which would also be 404B that they withdrew.
No, it'd be 405.
Yeah, they withdrew it, but if you bring up 404 that you...
Then all 404B is in, or do we get a hearing on what 404B can come in? If I open the door, do I get a hearing? We stop trial and I get a hearing on...
Stop. We'll have a very short hearing, okay? If you're going to introduce how you have great character and good character, we're going to have a short hearing on what evidence that they can bring in to rebut that character, which could include being convicted of 4 murders. So
And would you
talk
like...
to your advisory council during the break. And
You don't need to yell at me either.
Okay?
Yeah, you are. And you do not need to talk to me that way. I'm very courteous. I'm very courteous to you.
No, you have been nothing near courteous to me during the course of these proceedings. Talk with your advisory council about the rest of your cross. We're going to resume in 15 minutes.
All right. I got a time out. So they go ahead and remove Miss Lori from the courtroom so they could take her in the back room. Did they smack her around? Y'all, the way I was so excited when I saw that clip, I was like, And here's the thing. I watch everything on 2X, positively everything. I wanted to play that clip in normal speed for one purpose. That is to show how calm and cool and collected that judge was. If that was me, the way I would have been wearing out that zap button, I would have been, can you just press your finger on it and it offers a continuous zap? So she's like, she would look like one of those, the dudes, the air blowy dudes that they have outside of new businesses and car washes with like the arms are flowing all over the place. That would have been me on that button. But that is why I do not have a judicial demeanor. Judge has a judicial demeanor, right? Be kind, tiger. Heifer, what? Bonkage incoming. I'm trying to tell you right now, the way I would have bonked that heifer upside the head. Oh my goodness. But here's the thing that's striking to me. The judge calmly and coolly explained to her, even though he was clearly annoyed and had enough, he did not yell at her. He pointed at her, which, by the by, in my opinion, is a little bit rude, but I'm here for it. I feel like he's been too calm. I'm telling you, the sainted judge, Justin Bareski, needs a boomerang gavel. Whip it out there, it bonks her, and then comes back. I'm sure AI could help him with that. They have all these drones and stuff. People are using drones in war. You can certainly use them in the courtroom. We need a bonking drone. I just made that up. That's not a thing. But inventors, oh wait. My son has a degree in mechanical engineering. That might be the next $1 million idea, a bonking drone. Just goes up and smacks somebody upside the head and comes on back to where you are. Listen, with AI technology is guaranteed to zero in on them. Okay, I maybe should not be sharing my $1 million ideas here on the Tubes of You this early in the morning, but The thing that really stood out to me about it was that no matter what she said and what he did, even though he was clearly frustrated, he stayed calm. He was just like, take her out, take her out. The way I would have been using all of my best cuss words. Honey, you do not understand. And somebody pointed out Colby's reaction. Hang on, let me pull up Colby's reaction to his mama getting thrown out of court because it was so funny. Colby, let's see, wait. Lori thrown out of court. Colby. Let's see if that helps me find it. What is the name of Colby's channel? It used to be called Scar Wars because apparently he's a big Star Wars fan. Hang on. Colby J. Ryan. He made a short of it. I saw it yesterday. Colby J. Ryan. Ooh, 82,000 subscribers. Okay, Colby. Let's see. Here it is. Hang on. Let me see if I can make this bigger so you can see it better. Add to stage.
How they targeted.
Oh no.
Any of those other types of things that we believe that would allow us under 405 to then bring in specific acts such as the murder of her children, her husband, and her current husband's wife.
All right.
Which would also be 404B that they
Colby is
withdrew.
right over here in
No,
the
it'd be
corner.
Yeah,
405.
they withdrew it, but if you bring up 404 that you.
Then all 404B is in, or do we get a hearing on
Oh.
what 404B can come in? If I open the door, do I get a
No.
hearing? We stop trial and I get a hearing
Have a
on,
very- Stop. We'll have a very short hearing, okay? If you're going to introduce how you have great character and good character, we're going to have a short hearing on what evidence that they can bring in to rebut that character, which could
Okay.
include being convicted of 4 murders.
Oh,
and would you
Talk
like,
to your advisory counsel during the break. And
you don't need to yell at me either.
Yelling at you, okay?
Yeah, you are. And you do not need to talk
Okay.
to me that way. I'm
Take
very
her out. Take
courteous.
her out.
I'm very courteous to
Take
you.
her out. No, you have been nothing near courteous to me during the course of these proceedings.
Look at his face.
Talk with your advisory counsel about the rest of your cross. We're going to resume in 15.
oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my gosh. What just happened?
The look
No
on
shot that just happened.
his face. Wait, let me pause this. The look on his face. Don't you get the feeling nobody talks back to Lori? Nobody talks back to Lori. He's like, what just happened? You know what I'm saying? She's one of these people who's charismatic in like, a crazy cult leader kind of way. You just get the feeling Lori comes in and commands the room. And I have a question for our LDS friends. LDS friends, lean in. I have a question. So I've watched a lot of like ex-Mormon influencers, people on YouTube or whatever. And Alyssa Grenville mentioned this thing that I was like, oh, I noticed that too. She calls it Mormon speak and Mormon face, where in a lot of cases, and maybe this is just, a particular people that live in a particular part of the country or whatever, I don't know. But the women tend to be very like, they speak in whispered hushed tones and they act like they don't want to be offensive. And it's almost like this baby voice thing that happens. And they're just like, they want to be really nice and really pleasing. And I wonder if that's a cultural thing, if that's part of the like, keep sweet, pray and obey. Now, I'm not saying she's like fundamentalist, FLDS, whatever, but I've noticed it, and not so much in the Exmo community, but the still like the average our funeral potato Mormon friends, right? Although not Mrs. RA. Listen, Mrs. RA, Scott over there, recovery addict, his wife, Jen, I love her. Jen is very clear. She has no time for your mess. No time, not one moment, not 1 second. The way I love a big mouth broad. Not saying Jen is a big mouth broad. I'm just saying she's not afraid to express herself. I am a member of that club. I know a little bit of something about that. But I noticed a lot of the LDS women that I know in real life, and certainly the ones that I see in media or whatever, although not on the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, since them heifers have clearly, excuse me, found their voice. Right, that baby Fundy voice. Wait, let me see if I can grab this comment. Yeah, Sis, you should have been a detective, says baby Fundy voice. Yeah. It's this just like, hi, I don't want to cause a problem. I'm standing up clearly and strongly. You know where else I see it? In the sister wives. Now, listen, they are not a good example of anything, but before they divorced Cody, all of them were so non confrontational. I do not get it now. I know for some people, confrontation is not their love language. And maybe when I moved here to the East Coast, it was not my love language to start with, but honey, yeah, I learned. I found my inner, I'm not going to be quiet no more. Between me and you, I was not quiet before I moved to the East Coast, but I was definitely less confrontational. Now, I'm not afraid to call a mother if need be. You know what I'm saying? Now, on this here YouTube, I try and clean up my language and keep the bad language out, keep my pickies out. But in real life, honey, I am who I am right now is who I am. If you go have coffee with me, if you see me in the street, if whatever, only add in a few more curse words, but only when necessary, not gratuitously. But if I see some bull, I'm gonna call it. I am going to call it out. Hang on. In one of my members only videos yesterday, I was talking about difficult conversations. You know, sometimes you just have to have a difficult conversation. And some people are like, ooh, I'm bad at difficult conversations. Not me, not me. Now, it'll take me a moment to get my thoughts together, to get my mind right. But I'm not one of these people who's like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I feel like your feelings are your responsibility. Me telling my true child, that is my responsibility. You can say anything as long as you say it the right way, right? You can't start off with, come here, Heppa, and then expect the person to really hear and understand what you're trying to say. But if you have something to say, in my opinion, um, you can say it. You just have to find the right way to say it. But also, I'm not out to hurt anybody's feelings, but your personal reaction to my sincerely expressed, calmly expressed thoughts and feelings, your reaction to that, that's on you. What I say, that's my karma. How you react, baby, that's yours. And I am not troubling myself, not 1 minute, 1 second about it. Okay, hang on. That video, hang on, my nose is starting to run a little bit. That video, in my opinion, is evidence of the decompensation of Lori Vallow. Now, she historically in this trial was just like, okay, well, da 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 da. And I was like, okay. Now she's like, I have nothing to lose. These people have already convicted me once. I have clearly lost the plot. And I'm gonna get out here and show my whole behind and say what I'm gonna say and do what I'm gonna do. And I think she counted on the idea that the judge was not gonna push back. Well, the judge has had enough, beyond enough, way more than enough of her behind. And he's like, well, what I'm not gonna do is tolerate this foolishness, this bull, and this nonsense. And so the judge is letting her have it. Hang on. As well he should, in my opinion. Lori believes that she's going to lose this trial. She is, but she did have the chance to confront her former nephew-in-law. And if you watch the trial, you see she kept trying to bring up the pink pony. Y'all, I was like, let me let my Google fingers do the walking and find out every single thing about the pink pony. Clearly, the pink pony the state has decided we're not going to talk about the pink pony. Lori, according to her, had proof that Brandon was gay. Brandon, according to Brandon, is not gay. Did he just seem like the nicest, most decent, kindest human being? He just came off as such a sweetheart. And I was like, How did that very kind man marry that very dumb woman? Very dumb. Clearly, Melanie Boudreau Pulowski, she of the empty head and the pretty face, because she has a cute face, child. Brain is empty. When she walks, I wonder if you can hear the marbles rattling around because she is dumb, 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 dumb. Um, Allegedly, in my opinion, I don't know. Anyway, she's real dumb. And according to her, she got brainwashed. Okay, a light rinse got it done. Somebody was like, hey, dum dum, come here. I think your husband might be gay. She was like, okay, that seems right. I mean, I'm gonna talk to the Lord about it. Jesus don't know you. He don't. You getting a 404 message? You getting the boo boo boo? The call you have reached. Jesus don't know you. She's like, I was down at the temple and I prayed about it, but the very clear evidence that she received that her husband was gay was this. He was down to the Pink Pony. Now listen. The Pink Pony sounds like a fabulous bar with a great drag night. I want to go. I want to see it. I want to see all the queens. But I looked up the Pink Pony in their area. There used to be a restaurant. It is now closed in Scottsdale, Arizona, established in like the 40s. The restaurant had been around for a long time. Why it was called the Pink Pony, I do not know. I don't. No clue. It's an odd name for a straight restaurant, but what do I know? So the Pink Pony was an upscale dining establishment that like the sports ball players, I don't know what sports teams they have over there in Southern Idaho. Child, I live in New Jersey. I don't know what sports teams we have. And there's a stadium not that far from my house. I think a couple different sports teams play that. Unclear. Anyway, so people used to go there for spring training. Who trains in the spring? Base? I think maybe it's baseball. Anyway, I think it's baseball. Anyway, the Pink Pony was an upscale restaurant known for a really wonderful eclectic menu and a fabulous wine list. It was an upscale place. And one night after work, Brandon, he of the deep, deep pockets and the very cute face, Brandon and his coworkers went over to the Pink Pony to celebrate I don't know what. They had dinner, they had drinks, and they started dancing. Now listen, if I heard my husband was over here dancing down to the Pink Pony, I'd be like, say what now? Hmm? Hmm? But this Pink Pony was just a regular restaurant. It's like he went to Joe's Steakhouse, although Joe Steakhouse and Joe kind of don't go together. Joe sounds more like a crab shack. But anyway, Ruth Chris's Steakhouse. Imagine you're like, I need to divorce my husband because he was down at Ruth Chris and they had a dance floor and he started dancing. Hmm? Somebody put this video of Brandon Boudreau dancing at an upscale restaurant in the local neighborhood, and she decided that meant he was gay. Ma'am, I don't know if you know, Melanie, I know you're not that bright. Hey girl, hey. That's not how gay works. I don't uh, should somebody maybe give her the handbook? Now, if she found Sniffies, Scruff, or Grinder on her husband's phone, these are indications that your husband might be a same gender loving individual. Also, if I'm reading my Mormon scriptures right, which I have not read at all, I believe that just having a same sex attraction, according to their culture, philosophy, or whatever, doesn't make you gay. You can be attracted to men as a man, still be married to a woman, and still stay in good standing with the Mormon church. Now, if you have an affair on your partner, regardless of the gender of your affair partner, that is where you get into trouble. But like thoughts, feelings, whatever, that's not what makes you gay. Also, ma'am, wouldn't that be a conversation y'all could have? I mean, I don't call me crazy. Your husband is dancing down to the Pink Pony, and he's like, if he had his shirt off, was he like shimmying on other men's and stuff? I wonder if that Facebook video is still up. Y'all fan out and see if we can find it. I just feel like she had thin evidence. She saw a video, she talked to Jesus, she got the wrong number. See also, Jesus don't know her. And she's like, I think he's a homosexual. Lori kept trying to bring in this evidence, and the prosecutor was like, nope, nope, nope. Although she mentioned it as objection. And finally, the judge was like, you need to stop because this is what Lori learned from her last trial. The judge says objection, and then I just keep talking about whatever I want. And the jury heard it. And once you hear it, they can't unhear it. Number one, she assumes, like I assume, that the Pink Pony is a gay establishment, which it's not. But if you live in the local area, maybe you know that Pink Pony was just an upscale steakhouse. Number two, she assumes that that jury feels badly or has a bad image or whatever about gay people. Ma'am, it is Pride Month. I don't know what you think you're doing, but what you're not going to do is criticize or talk badly about my gay brothers and sisters, well, any day of the week, but certainly not during Pride Month, ma'am. You are going to need to get your act right. Fully installed, tighten, grease, get the timing belt together, get it all the way together. Because my gay brothers and sisters, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. But what you shouldn't be doing is unfortunately unaliving people. That was like the first hurdle that you failed to clear. So you talking bad about people who you perceive to be different than you, should not come as that big of a surprise, I guess. Also, while we're on this topic, what you're not going to do is talk bad about anybody unless they're a dumb criminal. Now, listen, somebody has a different faith than you, they look different than you, they act different than you, whatever. Okay, they still just a human being. But if you become an unfortunate unaliver, we here at Gossip Rumor and Innuendo, we're going to talk cash-ish about you. We're going to dig in your closet. We're going to pull out all the everything, and we're going to talk crazy about you with no regret, no shame, no sadness whatsoever. Govern yourselves accordingly. If you're breaking laws, then child, what is there to be afraid of? Nothing. Right. Also, sis, you should have been a detective, says, or hurt kids. Yes, you cannot hurt kids. You cannot hurt pets. You can't do it. We not rolling like that. I'm just saying. How about this? Don't harm yourself or others. It doesn't seem that hard, right? It doesn't seem that hard. But yeah, don't harm yourself or others. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Anyway, hang on. You know I'm gonna wrap this up soon because my coffee is almost gone. Also, it's Sunday, so I need to go bake myself a healthy banana bread. Y'all know the way. Oh, I guess maybe members know because I'm always sitting on here in the morning eating myself up a slice of healthy banana bread. And it's Sunday, so I need to make more yogurt. Yeah, I make homemade yogurt. I should have a cooking channel. Like I don't have enough else going on. Anyway, so Lori was out here in these streets talking crazy, being reckless, and saying bad things about this man who comes off far more likable than her. Far more likable than her. In the grand scheme of who is likable and kind and who is a whole scumbag, Lori girl, you team scumbag. Nobody likes you. Everybody hates you. Guess you'll go eat worms? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so to me, this is further evidence of her mental decomposition. She's mentally decompensating. Also, she's having a mentee B. A little bit of a mentee B, little bit of a mental breakdown. Miss Lori, get your whole self together. Anyway, I am going to make a full video that breaks down everything that happened on court on Friday when Lori got kicked out. But I was like, I need to talk to the people. I needed to do it. I wanted to do it. I also need to get some more sleep, possibly go for a walk, possibly stretch, possibly also wash my face. I literally rolled out of bed, put on headphones, made myself a cup of coffee, and just logged on. I am a whole mess right now. My face needs to be washed. My hair needs to be washed. My body needs to be washed. But you know, I smell like flowers no matter what, because that's how that goes. Hang on. As I nearly choked to death. I believe I made a members only video last night that might have been ever so slightly unhinged. Now listen, this is what you need to understand. What the members already know. I make members only videos every morning and every night, right? Just a quick check in. Hey, how you doing? How's your mom and them? How was your day? Whatever. Right. And in the morning, like, I'm getting my throat together. I'm cleaning my glasses. I'm, doing all my things. At night, because I am a woman of a certain age, I need good sleep. I need to try not to burst into flames. I'm hot right now. See, this is a sign I need to get off because I'm starting to get hot. I need to go sit outside for a little bit. Um, at night, I take my nighttime vitamins, right? All the things you take at night. I take calcium for strong teeth and bones. And what else do I take? Oh, I take some Simply Sleep or what's the other one? Unisom, I think whatever. I used to take what's the one that starts with M? Melatonin, right? I used to take a melatonin and a progesterone tablet, but then my doctor said the melatonin levels in my blood were sky high, and it was like that might have been disrupting my sleep. So I gave up melatonin and I started taking Simply Sleep, which people tell me can give me dementia. But can you sleep well when you have dementia? Because, child, I just need sleep. I just need sleep. Anyway, so at night I take my progesterone, which makes me a little bit loopy, and then my Unisom also makes me a little bit loopy. And normally I just make a little short video. Hey y'all, I hope you had a good day. I hope you're still alive. I hope you're safe and everything. Okay, it was good talking to y'all. And then I go to bed. But for some reason, if I wait too long after I take my little Simply Sleep, Tracy from Bundy, wait, wrong comment. The comment is running away from me. Simply Sleep, what's that? Simply Sleep is, you know how Tylenol PM is Tylenol plus a sleep medication? This is just a sleep medication, right? Because I don't want to overdose on Tylenol either. Simply Sleep makes me a little loopy. Progesterone makes me a little loopy. The two together is a situation. For whatever reason, when I get real sleepy like that, I get a skosh, loquacious, and say things that are possibly ill-advised. Now listen, most of those videos remained up. There have been one or two that I looked at in the morning and was like, oh no, I have to take this down. Yeah, the one or two. And the couple of y'all that caught them, I was like, oh dear God, I wake up in the morning, child, the morning regrets. So if I make a short video at night, 5-10 minutes, we in good shape. If I make a 20 to 30-minute video at night, the problem is I remember what I said in the first half of the video. The second half of the video, I don't remember making. I have no idea what I said. And I may or may say things. Now, listen, I tell you what I'm thinking. Oh, yeah. I absolutely tell you what I'm thinking. But they're not fit to be public videos at all. I'll tell you that much. Last night, we may or may not have discussed the gay knuckle. I can't get into it right now. I cannot get into it right now because that was not content for a public video. But I explained the facts of life to my true crime friends over in the back room. So backroom friends, listen, we got HIPAA. They know we got HIPAA. It's just a couple of us back there. We have private, intimate family conversations where we talk about things and I break down the facts of life according to me. Now would a doctor agree with the content and the ideas that I have? Likely no, but I have philosophies and I share my philosophies with my true crime friends, twisted and crazy though they may be. So look, I would just like to say, I apologize for last night's video. But it was not as bad as some of them in the past. You're welcome. One night I was trying to say good night, and I said good frogs. And I was aware of the fact that I had said good frogs, but I couldn't think of the word night. It got stuck. You know how stuff be getting stuck in your brain? I was like, okay, God, why did I say good frogs? Okay, good frogs. And then the video ended. And I woke up in the morning and I was like, did I say good frogs? Also, maybe I didn't post it. Maybe I didn't post it. And then I looked and I was like, I said good frogs. Okay, so it's morning now. I'm up. I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I had coffee. Look, it's gone now. 22 petite ounces of coffee straight down my gullet. Please know it was just half calf, because full calf would be too much. Y'all want to know my coffee secret? Look, lean in before I go. I'm going to give you my top secret coffee recipe. Number one, it's instant coffee because in the morning, I don't have that kind of free time. Also, I'm lazy. I don't drink a lot of coffee. Okay, I drink a lot of coffee, but I need to make it quickly. So I only buy instant coffee that is of questionable quality, usually ShopRite brand or Walmart brand or Great Value brand, although not BJ's or Costco because their coffee, their instant coffee is terrible, which is really saying something because the others are not like prime coffee. Anyway, um it's 2 spoons of instant coffee, 1 of regular strength and 1 of decaffeinated, and then 2 tablespoons of non-dairy creamer or almond creamer if I happen to have made some. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't. Then I add 2 packets of Splenda. Look, get your pen out. Here's the rest of the recipe. It's basically a cup full of chemicals and some caffeine. And then I add some benefiber because we got to keep the trains moving, y'all. I'm not as young as I used to be. And then I add some sugar-free vanilla syrup that I make myself. I make sugar-free vanilla syrup. I put it in a bottle from some sugar-free vanilla syrup that I bought. And then I said to myself, girl, you know you like to pinch a penny. You know you like to pinch a penny. Why are you out here giving these people your YouTube money to buy sugar-free vanilla syrup when you have all the ingredients in your house? I have water, I have Splenda, I have vanilla beans. This is real easy. So I just mixed them all together. There's a bunch of recipes on, the internet. And so I make some homemade vanilla syrup and I make it extra vanilla-y. And I put a little bit of sea salt in it. Love, 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 love. Anyway, and a little bit of extra sugar sometimes. I use mostly Splenda, but like a little bit of brown sugar too. So it's like a toasted, caramely, salted caramel vanilla. Okay. So look, I need to go. This banana bread is not going to make itself. I need to take a nap. My benefiber may or may not be kicking in. But wait, there's a couple of starred comments on here. Oh, Hope Page is a new. Oh, wait, I'm not even dyslexic, and I read that backwards. Paige Hope is a new member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gird your loins, Paige. Gird your loins. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. If there's an entire playlist of just members only videos, some of them are morning, some of them are night. I apologize unreservedly for the ones that I filmed at night. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then Jean O'Brien also became a YouTube member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for becoming members. We have fun over there in the back room. Unhinged though it may be. Okay, so look, coffee's finished. Wait, it's finished. 2 drops fell. I'm not trying to waste not 1 drop of coffee. Okay, I gotta soak it up. Okay, listen, I'm still on the march to 20,000 subscribers. Let's see how close I am. Where's my sub count? Okay. We are less than 500 subscribers away from 20,000 subscribers. My sincerest hope is to get 20,000 subscribers by next weekend. So I need like 400 or 500 more. That's less than 100 a day. I can do that. Don't you think I can do that? I feel like I can do that. I have planned a 20,000 subscriber celebratory live stream that will feature none other than attorney Melanie Little. Y'all, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I was on her channel once for like a little snip of time about the Brian Camp case a long time ago. Anyway, I'm super excited to have Melanie Little on next Sunday for my 20,000 subscriber celebration. That assumes that I get to 20,000 subscribers. Right now, I'm just living on faith and hope, living on faith and hope that I get there. But I believe in myself. I believe I can do it. So listen, gossip about this channel, drop some brown hearts in the comment section so that I know you were here, particularly if you're on the replay crew. Good morning, rewatch crew. Yes, I got up early and talked some nonsense, and then I probably went back and took a nap and made some banana bread and possibly some homemade yogurt. Okay, so look, I'm about to get on with the rest of my day. I have one request of you, in addition to like, subscribe, and share. Wait, Chicks and Cherries also just became a new member. Thank you so much. Oh, Checks and Cherries. Reading is fundamental. Look, get out there and have a fabulous true crime day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. If I can figure out, I can never figure out how to turn these things off. Okay, wait, here